everybody, it's Romania Black, and we are on episode 12 of Spy Family, and I don't really feel terrible about being on the final episode of season 1, because next week we're going to start season 2, so I don't feel sad at all. We're going to jump right from season 1 straight into season 2, so this is not a sad day, no. Now when season 2 gets over, it's going to be a little bit different, but I'm actually really excited. I'm very ready for season 2 already, but I'm very curious how we're going to end off this cour, because this cour ended way back in June of this year, and it's October now. So I'm curious, like, what note did they end on so that everybody would have to wait a couple months before diving into the next season? I'm assuming they're going to have a little bit of a cliffhanger to at least prep you as the audience to be like, oh, wait, gotta wait on season 2 to see where this is going, but I'm not sure where else it's headed, because last episode was a pretty self-contained episode. Anya finally got a Stella for saving the little boy that was drowning. She used her powers for good, which was awesome. But now it's like, where do we go to from here? So I'm really curious, but I've got a couple comments I want to talk about, and then we are going to look at the OP and the ED lyrics for season 1, because I've been asked through YouTube and Patreon comments if I would look at the OP and ED lyrics. I found some English lyric videos, so we're gonna look at those whenever this is over. So that's exciting, right? But yeah, so I'm really curious to see what all is gonna go down. I do have a few comments. Sarah Linda told me that in episode 10, the voice of Bill, that giant child in the dodgeball tournament, is the same man that voices Mycroft in Moriarty the Patriot, and the Dr. Kageyama from Twittering Birds Never Fly. And I was like, I knew that deep, deep voice from somewhere. It's like the deepest anime voice possible. That's where it's from. So if you've not watched Twittering Birds Never Fly or Moriarty the Patriot, you need to, because his voice is in there. So thank you, Sarah Linda. Christopher Peterson, we had this conversation, like, how real is this world? And that seems like such an odd question, but we were talking about perspective, and the world itself is pretty much prescriptive in that it's very realistic, but then there are some elements that are a little bit, like, comical, and it's done for comedy, and so we were debating, like, is part of the world, like, part of episode 10 from Anya's perspective, and is part of it from Loid's perspective? Because, like, when Anya's perspective, if we're going by that logic, then the attacks, yours, like, having a dodgeball go through trees, Bill, like, actually breaking power line poles with his dodgeball throw, all that stuff makes sense if you're looking at it from a child's perspective, because it's exaggerated and it's hyperbole. But if we're looking at it from Loid's perspective, then it's a lot different. But I don't know. I don't think it's that deep. I don't think this show is that deep in terms of what's real and not, because we had, like, Loid and grenades and stuff flying around. I think it's all on the same plane of reality, but if stuff is comically over the top, it's fine. This is not Attack on Titan. It's not Vinland Saga. It can be exaggerated because it's comedy. It just has these other elements to it. So I thought that was really good that you noted that, Christopher, that at least gets brought up in the discussion. Arya talked about how Damien is based on Daimyoji Tsukasa from Boys Over Flowers, which is a classic rich boy bullies poor girl shoujo manga, and that's the archetype that he's based off of. And I was like, that is so perfect, because it just fuels the ship, right? Just fuel that Damien and Anya ship. Not right now, they're still little kids, but later on, you know, if they grow up, just saying, it could be cool, you know, Damien, the son of this powerful executive, and Anya, a could-be telepath, you know, we'll see how it goes. And then finally, Jimmy Lujan noted how, about online chess, because I was lamenting in episode 9 and 10 about Damien playing chess by himself. And Jimmy was pointing out, like, well, you know, you can play online chess by yourself and it just makes you a better chess player. Any amount of practice makes you better. And it's like, yeah, that's a really good point. That's really true. I guess I'm just sad that he didn't have Emil or Ewan playing with him. But then again, Damien has said he's very competitive. So maybe Emil and Ewan just got, like, tired of being like, we don't want to face you. You get way too into this. Maybe that has to do something with it. I don't know. But I thought those were all really good comments. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this season finale and to look at the OP and ED lyrics, see what's up. But again, I'm not sad, because next week we're diving straight into season 2. So that's exciting. Good timing, right? I feel like it is. But let's not waste any more time. We are going to jump into episode 12 of Spy Family. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and Let's go. So let's go ahead and look at the lyrics for the OP and ED. And I'm going to put the OP up here first. And I'm going to turn the sound off just for copyright reasons, we'll turn the sound off. But we know how it goes. We know how this song and dance goes. So before we start discussing this episode, we need to look at the OP and ED song lyrics. So we're going to start the OP here in 3, 2, 1. And do that. Da 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 da. All right. So I think this has English and like Japanese into Romani, however you say it. Get the instrumental out of the way. Oh, in this world, I'm going to turn this off. In this world, like nuts packed in a bag, everyone is snuggling up to someone they meet. I like that mixed nuts, like we are mixed in there and smiling. So like the assassin, the spy, and the telepath all together. By pretending we're all nuts like the peanuts. Pretending we're all normal. Yeah, we're all the most basic, right? On the template of happiness behind the surface, which is literally picturesque. We can't be as we are. Oh, even we put our hands together sitting around a table. Okay. Home with full of secrets and patches, you know? Oh, wow, this is really on the nose. Really on the nose. Okay, even though I chew up the real emotions, they still don't disappear and they're stuck in my teeth. Ooh, I like that line. I like that imagery. My life's so insecure and drifting, and I know. Okay. Every day is so mediocre, but I'm here, and so are you. I don't know. That seems like how the life of Loid and yours anything but mediocre. Just by this truth, my stomach feels heavy. That ties up to the stomach imagery in the OP. Like a single peanut whose true character was revealed. Ooh, okay, that could go for all 3. You get instantly rejected from the world. Because yeah, they can't really be known. That is when I want to be by your side, if you're okay with my imperfection. Oh, well, yeah, even if we get roasted, shaken, and stepped on together, we'll be unbreakable nutshells. Oh, that describes his family so well. It does. Like, whether you were born above the tree or beneath the ground, the difference is subtle. Oh, like tying the 2 sides against each other. May the rain equally moisturize this unacceptably dry world. This is like really on the nose with all of them. The other side of window is sometimes cold and nosy, you know. So the grass is not always greener on the other side. Essentially, occasional starless nights, days filled with thunderstorms are okay. Like, yeah, you can get through those harsh times. A show full of mistakes, letting improvisations run, but I know. So having to like think on the fly. After all, this is a piece of daily life, so I'll digest it into my stomach and sleep. That explains the stomach and the OP. I was like, that ties it all in together, right? Home with full of secrets and patches, you know. That's cool. Let's eat up both special and ready-made meals. Yeah, the special meals or what we make like ready-made in case viewers cooking. There's no normal and no answer in life, I know. Yeah, no normal at all, especially for this family. Every day so mediocre, and I'm here, and so are you. And then, just by this truth, my stomach feels heavy. That idea of having the family. I continue on cherishing this handful of miracle. And then, is that it? It is! Wow! Oh, that was so on the nose. So on the nose. I was like, that entire OP describing them trying to live this normal life as a family when they're really anything but normal. That's really cool. Awesome. So now we have the ED. It's by the same person that did the lyrics. So we'll do that ED in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Turn the sound off there. And let's see. Fight each other, and it's like we're going to break with these playful stars. Since we were born, we are strangers, tears withered completely. Oh, this is off to a very different start than I thought. With that lo-fi beat. A dream is where home is. just like picturing this. So overflowing before meeting you. Oh, with like dreams, maybe, not reality. I pretend to be normal when I'm with you. I'm tired of looking for it. Oh, so is this from Loid's perspective? The place to return to me, to return to for me is something made. On that day, we exchanged things that are thicker than blood. Oh, a unified heart contract. Yeah, this is Loid, definitely. Okay. Let's hold hands and go home. What should we eat today? Oh, that's with them holding Anya's hands. That's cute. Something like this happened. I want to talk about it with you. Oh, like what they did after work. On any date, everything is comedy with you. Well, that's this show, right? On a bed that dances with a squeak still laughing out loud. Oh. The life full of fun continues. And I guess that's where like the ED ends. Oh. That's really cute. So what's the rest of it then? I grew up with low self-esteem with this crazy star. Oh. I realized I was pretending to be normal. Who decided that? Oh, Loid. And then my light can only be found in this place. It's like home, like he's only finding that light in his home. Faint curse what was lost on that day. Goodbye from the bottom of my heart. Oh no! Let's go home with a raised face with blooming flowers. I really don't want to think about the prospect of him leaving. I want to say the flowers look so beautiful. I don't want the prospect of Loid leaving Anya and Yor. Don't want to think about that. Miracles happen when you're with me. Yeah, both OP and E talking about miracles in the kitchen that connects lives without being able to express it. Yeah, where words don't meet, right? Where they don't work, the life full of fun continues. Aww. Yeah, I don't want to think about what would happen once the mission's over. After overtime, let's walk together. The sun rises up and I'm thankful to you. Aww. It's not enough for me. Let's hold hands. Let's go home. What should we eat today? Something like this happened. I want to talk with you. Okay. On any day, everything is comedy with you. Yeah, and just repeat the verse. On a bed that dances with a squeak, still laughing out loud. Just repeat the verse over again. Let's find eternity. Let's live with all of our hearts. Oh, I want them to be a family forever. Whatever happens next, I want to talk about it with you forever and ever. Oh, everything's comedy with you. The days we share with each other behind the loud laughter. The life full of fun continues. Oh, now that last line makes so much more sense. That's so cute. Oh. Well, that was really sweet. Oh, that was really cute. So, yeah. Well, that was a really cute episode. I honestly, when I started this episode, I was like, is it going to be like a filler episode? But then a lot of people were saying that episode 10 was kind of filler. And I was like, really? The dodgeball one was? Which, in hindsight, the dodgeball one being filler kind of makes sense because nothing really happened throughout it. And there was a lot of references to like stuff from other anime. So if you told me that was filler, but I commented on somebody's post, I said, it's really a testament to this show that I don't know what's filler and what's actual plot. I really don't. And I think that's a testament to the show and how good it is when you're not exactly sure if it's, if it's filler or not. Because usually filler is so easy to spot and you're like, oh, this does not match the tone and the characterization. But in this show it does. So that's really cool. But yeah, so Loid just needs a nap. Essentially, Loid just needs to take a nap and just let it all kind of simmer down because I feel for our boy. I do. He seems like he's having some hard times. He's just being overworked. And dude, I feel Loid's pain. I really do. I've told people on the Discord that like I am in between jobs right now, but the new job that I've taken, so I'm doing the stuff for it. but then they haven't hired somebody to do my old job, so I'm having to do both at the same time with this, and it's been a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a lot of stuff going on, and so I was projecting onto Loid during this episode, being like, I feel you, man. I know what you're going through, and so it's hard, and I feel like he's just overworking himself, and I'm like, you would think, and I know, you would think the agency would be like, wow, Loid, you're in charge of this operation that's, for world peace and is one of the most important operations in the country right now. Why would we give you more things? But as Loid says in this episode, they're short on personnel. And that's the sad truth. When you're short on staff, you have to wear multiple hats, whether you like it or not. So I feel like they've had so many spies arrested right now. They're short-staffed and they need Loid to do it. And they know he's good. So that's kind of the downside of if you're good at something. If you're good at your job and you're really good, it's very easy for people to tack on more work for you. And they're like, oh, you can handle it, to the point where you break, right? And Loid's teetering on that breaking edge. I'm surprised we didn't go back to the dog. That wasn't touched upon. I'm assuming they're going to touch base on that in season 2. They're just going to push it aside for now. Don't worry about it. We'll come back to that plot point. I really thought the penguin, when we had the penguin park, I really thought it would have something to do with the dog, but nope, we didn't get that. So curious. I really thought this woman at the train station at the beverage stand was Sylvia, but she's not. She's just another spy. And Loid is just there to get his drink and get his mission. It's a good thing nobody else picks up that one with the little token, but I guess she knows about the time that he comes to get his beverage, his orange juice. And he gets a mission, right? And so as he's boarding the train, I like that the woman, she's like, our jobs, it's a thankless job, right? Protecting the world from all the horrible things happening. She's like, this has been my life for decades now. That's the thing. This woman's like, I've been doing this for so long. And it's almost like, is Loid going to end up doing this forever too? Is he going to do this for decades and just overwork himself thanklessly? And she's like, every day remains the same and peace is fleeting. She's like, nothing's changed in the decades I've been doing this job. It's still the same and we're still in constant high alert. And she says, will we ever see a day when we're not needed anymore? Like the idea of, are we ever going to get to a point where we don't need spies? And the short answer, I think, is no. But I wonder if they can at least do something. It seems like such a connector into the next season of, gee, if only we could stop this from happening. I don't know. But what would Loid do if he wasn't a spy? That's the question. But yeah, again, this series, it kind of teeters the line between reality and it's kind of subjective a little bit of how real you want to go. Because we have this explosion, and then Loid, getting the briefcase and stuff. But then, in another episode, we've had him, go on a bungee line next to a hot air balloon. So it's it is what it is. But that deep voice where he said mission complete, it almost didn't sound like him, right? It didn't sound like Loid. Maybe it was the narrator. But talking about how Loid is just tired. And oh my gosh, the smoking thing. He's next to the guy getting intel and he's smoking just to look nonchalant. Why else would he stand there except to take a smoke? But, okay, and I want to read this newspaper here. It says, tensions between Ostinia and West Dallas exacerbate Cold War. That's a little bit on the nose. I feel like there's, different World War II, Cold War, it's all a fusion of history in this. The Daily OST. And then Donovan, Desmond, and Haywood's in there too. Interesting. But I love that he coughs. He's like, I quit smoking because I have a daughter now. He quit smoking for his child. I've said this in Discord. I'm very much against smoking. My family's been anti it for a long time for family health reasons. But it just looks so cool in literature. But I love the tie-in that Loid quit doing it because he has Anya. My uncle smoked. And when my cousins were born, my aunt was like, you can't smoke around them because it's not healthy. And so he stopped. He stopped smoking around them. So I like that. But thus the Forgers came to be without issue. I like that yours since your dad's going to be out late, we could go out to eat. And Anya's like, yes. Yep, let's do it. And then It floors me how Yor is so, like, she not onto him at all, which why would she be, right? But it's funny because Loid is like so suspicious of every little aspect, but then Yor is like, everything's fine. But then again, Yor's an assassin, so she's probably like, I got this. Nobody's gonna harm me. And Loid's like, gotta be on guard, right? And her saying that she can't wash out the stench of blood, you need some mouthwash. That will solve your problems. And the only reason I know that is not because I've killed anybody, but because, you know, my family's raised farm animals, and occasionally, like, if a farm animal, like, got cut or something, or we had some occasions where, like, a pig or something would die, and you had to, like, we did, like, an autopsy or something, and if you got blood on you, you could wash it off with mouthwash. Just saying. Just so you know. It's too much information into this, but Yor just needs to find some mouthwash and she's fine. So, but poor Loid, he is just absolutely drained, and they're in dire straits, HQ is. So it is setting up for season 2 a couple things. It's setting up that Loid's overworked, and that HQ is in dire straits, and they have a staff shortage. And so I feel like that's setting up for season 2 that Loid's going to get called out on more side missions, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, he's trying to maintain appearances, and the housewives of this complex are convinced that Loid is cheating on Yor, or that he's not being a good father. And Loid's like, damn it, we've got to keep up the pretense, right? But Loid is so high strung right now. He is like so on the verge of snapping from all of this exhaustion that he doesn't rationally like slowly walk away and like think it out. He just immediately runs up and is like, we're going to the park tomorrow. And Anya and Yor are like, okay. They're like, sure. Okay, sure thing. It's great. He's like, even the slightest suspicion or mistrust can be detrimental. And he's like, I have to remedy the situation. He's like, he's like, a threat to our family is a threat to our world. He's like, we have to, he's like, he's the type of person that he does not procrastinate. He's like, let's get to the root of the problem now, nip it in the bud and go. But he doesn't even give them an option. He's like, we're going to go have a good time. He kind of reminds me of like a Chevy Chase in Family Vacation, where he's like, we're gonna have a good time on this vacation. Also, Anya, like, Loid, you guys are doing a great job parenting. Not gonna get on to you, but maybe Anya with the penguin with the silencer. might want to have a sit down with Anya and tell her about that penguins should probably not use, you know, guns. But he doesn't even say anything. No. Instead, they're gonna go to the aquarium, and Anya's like all about it. She's like, yes. He's like, oh, I'll just take care of all my other missions before we go to the park. And he's just drained. I do love their matching outfits. Like, he has the fedora, and he's like shaking as he puts on the glasses. I like his blue blazer. I like the khakis. I love Yor's outfit of like the one-piece jumper with they all have the matching stripes. It's so freaking cute and matchy-matchy. I absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. And so lo and behold, the people that are their neighbors end up going to the aquarium as well. I like the Anya. She's just like, we are a totally normal family. Anya takes it a little bit to the extreme, but she's 6, so it's technically younger than that, so it's cute, right? I can't believe they gave him another mission on top of the one he's having. And it just so happened. I think if it had been anywhere else, he would have got out of it, but because it was at the aquarium, he got tasked with this extra mission to go find this film that was like for a drug smuggling. Oh my God, to get the intel. And she's like, and the woman there behind the cash register, she's like, if you don't do this, it could lead to biological warfare and lots of people could die. And Loid's like, well, my job is to save the world, so I guess I've got no choice. So he took it on. I do love the blue colors in this episode, like in the aquarium. And Loid's like, it's fine. I'll just handle all the missions. I'm like, dude, you need to get some rest. So then, yeah, they go see the penguins. I'm glad that they got to go see that. And then, of course, the nice thing is, Loid doesn't realize it, but Anya helps him find the penguin. Anya's kind of instrumental to all of this. The scary thing is that Anya would be really helpful to Loid, but she doesn't want to tell Loid that she has psychic powers. And it's probably a good thing that she doesn't tell him either, because that could lead to some detrimental things happening. Like, what if Wise wanted to like take Anya and like experiment on her or something? I wouldn't put it past them or Yor's organization either. So I'm just saying it's probably a good thing she doesn't say anything, but it's sad because her powers would actually be very, very helpful. And Anya shows just like in the last episode with Estella, that she is actually really smart and does think, she's smart at thinking on her feet and getting things to work out. Like, she's not book smart maybe, because Anya struggles with her schoolwork, but she's very good street smarts of navigating and showing like how to lead Loid to the problem without outright saying what the problem is. That was really cool. I liked that a lot. But yeah, then she sees the penguin, the one that's choking. The fact that she can read the minds of penguins, here's the thing, that is setting up for the dog. They had the dog that seemed like it was slightly telepathic. So that is setting up Anya meeting the dog in the future. And if she can read the dog's thoughts, I'm here for it. If she can read the fish thoughts and the dog, I feel like that would work great. So yeah, so Loid's like, well, how am I going to get back to the penguin? And he manages, I'm just amazed he brought contacts. You know, contacts, I guess he'd bring a disguise for any special occasion. He is a master of disguise, so I guess that makes sense. But he's like, I need to get that penguin now. And so him dressing up as the rookie, that poor rookie, they're all like, they made him like CEO of management, like at the end of it. Not really, but they put him in charge and he's like, I just started. Yeah, that's probably going to go real south for him. His specialty is disguises. And so to be fair, this guy at the Berlin Aquarium that tells the rookie he needs to memorize the 200 names of the penguins, I don't think I could memorize 200 names of the penguins. Yeah, it's like with cows. Like I said, my family raises livestock, and with the cows and stuff, we can tell them apart, like he says, because they have certain markings or certain faces. But we have like 30, not 200. 200 would be a lot. That'd be a lot to memorize. But of course, because Loid is like prodigy level smart, he's memorized most of them, right? Or I feel like maybe he's memorized a couple and he just picked those out to prove his point. They all have P names, so my guess is that he memorized the P names to try to find the penguin that had the lozenge, like the film in its throat, and he just memorized a few others just in case he was tested. Yeah, and the guy that's in charge of him is like, even I make mistakes, so man, this guy's got some good memory skills. And so he takes them to get fed, and Loid realizes that he needs to get next to that one penguin. But he's like, I got this. I love this one girl. This one girl that's in the pen with him. She looks like she's seen some stuff. Her eyes are like all wide throughout all of this. She looks like she's seen too much of the penguin park. She needs to go transfer over to the whales or something. And of course he memorized every penguin, their name, what group they're in. He would, because Loid is like the best spy. And then he manages to get them all away to get the one penguin that can't eat separated from the others. I do like how this episode handles that man coming up that was clearly with the enemy organization. Granted, he looked scary right from the get-go, so it was like sketch, suspicious, but the fact that that interaction between him and Loid, and he takes his thumb and like swipes it over and figures out it's a fake ID, that part was really good. And then he takes the penguin away. This episode was so genius in the fact that it had Anya grab hold, because I was a little worried for Anya for a second. I was like, this guy's clearly dangerous. He's working for an enemy organization. He's clearly dangerous. So, and Loid's sniffing for like the fake ink and everything, or fresh ink. But yeah, Anya, her like stealing herself, like grabbing his coat and then telling Yor that she's being kidnapped. Genius. And Anya, I love that Yor's just like, I'm having none of this. And she just knocks him straight out. It's great. Knocks his teeth out and everything. What are you doing to my daughter? And I love he gets stuck up there and Anya's like, wow. I want to make note. Anya says, wow. And then here's the thing. Loid walks by and he's like, wow. He says the same thing Anya does. Like father, like daughter. I'm guessing that they were just behind the column enough, behind the hall enough they didn't see Yor and Anya. Just gonna guess. And so Twilight was able to retrieve the film and get information about the enemy organization from the man that they captured. Now, again, these women, these gossipy women, just like her coworkers, they are trying to give Yor a complex. For the ladies at work, they get onto Yor all the time. And then these ladies are getting onto Yor about her husband. She's like, no, he's not cheating on me. And we find out that instead, like, I love that Anya figures it out immediately. He shows up with the giant stuffed penguin and he's like, oh yeah, I spent all this time trying to win this game to get her the penguin. That's why it took me so long. And Anya's like, no, you got it in one go. She knows through the lie. But again, that penguin is freaking adorable. And he manages to win him over. And they're like, wow, up close you're really handsome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know what's up. They know what's up. And he's like, I try. And then Loid is just exhausted. He cannot keep up the pretense anymore. And so, yeah. I like they tack on at the very end this little segment about Anya. I feel like this was maybe a chapter that they tacked on the very end. I figure like it was a chapter in the manga of... It was either a chapter or it's filler. But it's Anya like meeting the new recruits and the penguin. And the way that she plays is perfect. It's exactly like a 5 to 6 year old would play. And I love that she frames herself as the hero. I love that she gets her mom and her dad in as the spy and the assassin. Oh, she doesn't call Yor an assassin. She says that basically Loid is a spy. But she says, my mama is strong but not good at anything else. It's like, Yor! I mean, not untrue, but... It's really cute. I love that she does a little ceremony with the peanuts and she eats it all herself. Freaking cute. So cute. But yeah, so then I love she's showing them around and Loid is thinking that she's just influenced by Bond Man. Which she kind of is, but she's also influenced by their life. And she says that this is Agent Papa. He is a super elite that can do anything. Like, so it's that contrast of Loid being the prodigy and Yor being good at... Loid's good at everything. He's a jack of all trades. And Yor is a master of one specific thing. So they are a little bit opposite. Mm-hmm. Now, she goes to their rooms. And granted, Loid says that he told her to stay out. But he was like really on top of her. But granted, she could have hurt herself if she went in there. But and I like Loid's kind of watching her walk away. But yeah. Him grabbing her and saying not to go to the rooms. She's like, if you discover the secret, you won't be able to leave alive. But he like grabs her immediately and like just yanks her away from that door. And then he's like, what do you think you're doing? And now to be fair, he does get mad at her and she should not have gone in there without permission, like you said. But him grabbing her by the scruff of her neck might have been a little much, Loid, but she instantly like makes him realize that. And Yor's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't go in mine either. And she's just so... She says she hates them both. And Loid's like, we can't have this. He's like, I love that Loid instantly falls to the worst case scenario. It's like little kids get mad for a while, but then they get over it. They get mad for a while, but then it's like... A 5-year-old doesn't necessarily hold a grudge, but they get upset. But obviously you want to diffuse the situation and make them feel better or apologize if you were like... Loid being like, but maybe not apologize because it's a kid, but at the same time, I get why Loid is panicking. He's like, oh, this operation's going to collapse. But then at the same time, I'm like, calm down, Loid, be rational in all this. And so his way to counter it is to say that the only thing he can think of, he's like, what should I do? And then he sees the penguin. And the only thing he can think of, and his little face is so blushy. Loid has all the red face. He's like, Agent Anya. And like makes his voice different. Like, yeah, Loid, you shouldn't have grabbed her by the neck and hoisted her up in the air. You shouldn't have like lashed out at her. You should have like grabbed her hand and been like, hey, we said not to do this. But his compensation is so funny. And you're joining in with the robot, like following his lead. World peace is on the line. Oh my god. And of course Yor is the robot. Of course. Because she's so strong. And Anya's like, oh, okay. Well then we're going to go to 2nd Street. It's like... And when she said that there's bad guys taking over the candy store on 2nd Street, I thought she was going to stay in the apartment, like act it out. But no. She makes them actually go outside and has the shades and everything. It's so cute. Everybody on the street's like, what a sweet family. That's so, so cute. And Loid's like, a spy must not stand out. And I love that Loid is he's just like, we're standing out. This is so embarrassing. This is the opposite of what we should do. And you're behind him. The robot has blush. She's just like, oh my God. Like these parents are dying from secondhand embarrassment. But they're doing it for their kid. And later on, Anya's mood improved after they bought her a snack. And peace was restored to the Forger household. She got her bag of nuts. Oh, that was so cute. So yeah, that was really sweet. I liked that a lot. Like I said, I feel like this was kind of an odd place, but then again, it wasn't. It was kind of an odd place to end the season because there's not really like a big cliffhanger or anything. There's nothing really to lead you into season 2, but it is kind of a self-contained episode, and it does do a little bit of a recap. So I guess if you decided to watch season 2 and you wanted to start back with episode 12 to refresh yourself, you get quite a lot and be refreshed. So that's good. But I'm really excited to start season 2. We're going to start that next week. That's going to be exciting. And then there's 13 episodes for season 2. So new OP, new ED. The OP and ED was so perfect for this show, though. It's like, how are they going to top it? But I've said that with other shows, and then it was better or just as good. So hopefully that will be the case with Spy Family. So I'm really excited about season 2 starting next week. I hope you all are too. I'm very curious to know your comments down below. It'll be fun to watch it week to week with you all. That'll be really exciting. Please no manga spoilers or anime spoilers. But I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. Take care. And yeah, I am excited to be back next week with season 2, episode 1 of Spy Family. Bye.